Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to our Kingdom Organizer Magnification Call for January 10th, 2021. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We've got a special message from our founder and creator, Mr. Richard Paul Evans. Take it away, Richard.
Awesome. How's everyone doing? How was week number one? I think some believed that crossing the New Year line would suddenly change everything. Like, okay, we're good. We're done with 2020. Now we can get back to normal. And remember, I talked about last time about the game board. There is no normal. The game board changed. Okay, and we're going to be ahead of that. And just because the game board changed doesn't mean we panic. It means that we just play differently, and we react differently, and we grow from it. But the game board's always changing. We're just seeing more dramatic changes right now. So thanks for joining tonight. This has been what I want to do tonight is I want to share with you. Getting back to basics, something I haven't done for a while. And I want to go over the organizer and go over your day and make sure that you're living deliberately. The whole purpose that we're even here is to make sure that we're living deliberately as a group. And so I'd like to start with a little bit of a meditation. And I had an experience yesterday. I got a really cool experience. I had a chance to speak, and it wasn't technically in public because it was televised to thousands of people. But there were still, what do you think, Diane, 70 people in the audience? Which, you know, they're all distance, and they're mostly tech people. They're mostly camera people and stuff like that, and running the stage and everything. But I got to share a new concept I have for a book. And I was very, very excited. I'm very excited about it because the response on it was amazing. People were crying and laughing, and afterwards the president of the company came up and he goes, "Oh my gosh, you're like a puppet master, Richard. It's like, you say cry, we cry. You say laugh, we laugh." And but better yet, it's like I wanted to share how to create the life you want. And Vicki Simpson just put something. This is awesome. She wrote, "I pushed my cow off the cliff." This actually, okay, Diane's laughing because you know it's going to happen. This actually came up. They wanted to talk to me. This happens when you have big speaking events. They want to talk to you before the event to make sure you don't do something that's like too out of there, too crazy. And so because this is a different talk than usual, and the first time, I shared the story of the little cow, which I shared with you last week, right? Pushing the cow off the cliff. Well, the two people listening were like PETA. Okay, they didn't hear a single thing I said other than I murdered a cow. They were so freaked out that the whole story just went past them, and they were just mortified. They were just horrified by my story. And I used this. Actually, I used it as an example, and the entire room was laughing because I talked about the cow, the great cow massacre. And it's like, okay. It's not my job to tell them, wait, this is a great story. It's changing people's lives. It's based on ancient wisdom. What I needed to do is look at it and say, with this crowd, this story is going to be ineffective. And it's going to be ineffective just not because of them. I mean, because of me, but because of them. They're not in a place to receive it. And so that was one of the stories. So one of these times I will share with you what I shared with them. And okay, Josh, thank you for that. What I'm going to share is actually this really amazing concept of how stories make up our worlds and how to use the stories as magic to change and create the world you want. So, but I want to start with something. I want to start with some relaxation. How many had a relaxing day? No, let me ask, how many had a stressful day today? Anyone? It's a good day. How many have a stressful week ahead? Anyone? Tell me about your week. Why is your week stressful?
I'm just trying to get more clients because I I'm not working full time anymore, so I'm trying to make massage therapy be my only. Like today, I have that new tool I told you about, that microcurrent bioelectrotherapy device that I mentioned
Right.
about the boy that I wanted to help grow. In 4 weeks, he's grown a half an inch. And so it's exciting. I don't know if that's stressful, but that's exciting. But I'm just trying to not get a full-time job again.
Oh, that sounds fascinating. Thank you, Tammy. The other Tammy.
Yes.
Okay.
So I am doing BYU Pathway, and I'm doing 4 hours of study, a lot of reading, and I love it, but it takes a lot of my day, so I have to try and fit it in with all the other things.
Okay, Vicky.
So that's my stress.
Thank
Sorry.
you. Vicky, you quit your job. You pushed the cow over the cliff because your job sucked.
Well, it just wasn't enough hours and I couldn't do the work that I needed to do. So I quit my job and now I've got to find, now something else is going to open up. I feel it.
Okay. Oh, and you know what? You didn't say suck. You said it's keeping me stuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I misread that while I'm speaking here. So,
Well,
okay, so
that's
let's start something. Let's start with a little meditation. And I want to open your minds up to a really kind of mind-blowing idea. So I want to get you there first, and then we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about using the actual organizer and achieving the year you want. So let's just start. Just take 5 minutes. We're just going to relax. Can we take a deep breath? Breathe in. In fact, let's take 3 deep breaths. Ready? Josh, a yawn counts. Okay, I want you to close your eyes. I want you to imagine yourself in a big clear bubble. Think of it as it's not glass because it feels like it's almost a rubber substance. You're in this bubble. It's very comfortable, and you are above a raging ocean. Okay, you can see the ocean is just below you. You see big waves, and you can see lightning strike the water, but you're safe. You're in this bubble, and you're completely now. The bubble is going to start to descend. You feel very safe. It's coming down, it's coming closer to the water. The waves are starting to splash against it. You know, feel it splashing against the size of your bubble. You're coming down. You're down, you're in the water, you're halfway through. The water is splashing up over the top of you, but you're completely safe. The air that you're in is safe. Go ahead, go down deeper, deeper, deeper. You're now under the waves. You're slightly swaying, but the big waves that were rocking are gone now. You're getting deeper. Now you're in darkness as you're coming down, but you're suddenly realizing that there's light. Okay, going deeper, you feel completely calm. You're completely safe. You feel at ease. Now, you suddenly realize that there's a light coming above you. It's coming down towards you. It's coming down into the water. It's an outside bubble. It's pure light. It's refreshing. It's powerful. It's lighting up the darkness around you. It's touching your bubble now, and the sides of your bubble are illuminated as it touches. You're illuminated. It's starting to envelop your bubble. This is your source. It's coming down over you. You feel peace. You feel joy. Feel it. Just bring it in. Your source is coming into you. Just allow it to come in. Feel that peace. Feel the comfort. Your body feels completely relaxed. Take a deep breath. The bubble is filling up with pure water. It's water you can breathe. It's an experience you haven't had since before birth, when your lungs were filled with beautiful water. Go ahead, breathe it in. You are feeling light, you feel peace, you feel completely relaxed as the water comes into you, as you fill your lungs. Go ahead, breathe it in deeply, fill it in, let it fill all of you. You feel completely relaxed. You feel complete peace. The light that is in you is shining through you. You feel wonderful. Just go ahead and take a moment. Just enjoy this feeling. Looking out through the bubble, you can see your other kingdoms now. You can see the second kingdom. You see your family, your loved ones close. They're looking at you because the light that is emanating from you is illuminating them. They're feeling your peace. They're feeling your love. They feel the great power that's coming from you as you have connected with your source. It is moving out into the third bubble outside, the third kingdom. Your friends are feeling it. They can feel the peace. They too are looking towards you. They see you as light and power. They see the source coming through you, and they see you as something desirable. They see you as hope, as someone they want to look to, someone they want to connect to. Go ahead, take that out of the fourth kingdom and the institutions. You are now a great power in every institution you are involved with. Every institution you touch will feel the power of your influence. And through these institutions, you're now moving out into the world. Your light is great and strong. Take a deep breath. I want you to feel this. Okay, in this state, I want you to think about 2021. This is a new year. I want you to reimagine this year. I don't want you to any longer look at this year as something that's going to happen to you. Instead, this is your experience, and you will define it. So 2021 that we see in the world is happening in that fifth kingdom, but your experience is inner. Something I would like to share with you, I want you to consider deeply, and I will talk more about this later, is that if you look at the physical world around you, it's made of atoms. Everything, the molecules are made of combinations of atoms. The elements are made of combinations. Everything is made of atoms, which gives a physical creation to everything about you. But the mental world, your perception, is made up of stories. They're made up of words. They're made up of segments. Everything that around you, everything that you feel and see is perceived first. You know that if you were to step outside your perception, that the real world, as people call it, the physical world, that even it is seen through your perception. That is why everyone here from their bubbles can look at the same thing and see something very different based on where they're coming from, their perception. What we're going to do here in your first kingdom, in this great bubble, in this relaxation, is we're going to start to change those stories. I want you to start to become aware of the stories you are telling yourself. There are two kinds of stories. There are the stories we tell ourselves. There are the stories we tell the world. If you want to see real magic in your outer world, in the physical world, you'll start to understand this when you start to learn to change those stories. In the same way, when we see a magician, when they do something that we perceive as magic, it is because they have done something that counters the physical world. They make something appear when something should not appear. However, in the mental world, we can do real magic. We can create stories that will open up whole new worlds to us. The power of these stories will affect everything that you do. I want you to be aware of the stories you are telling yourself. And that's what you're going to do this week, and that's what we're going to do today. Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. Go ahead and remain in this peace. Go ahead and fill this. Welcome back. What I want you to be able to do now is to start examining the stories. You've started to tell yourself stories about 2021, haven't you? You've told yourself stories about what's going to happen when you really don't know. You've told yourself stories about how you're going to respond when you may not really know how you're going to respond. What we're going to do instead is we're going to write our own stories. And this is the power of the Kingdom Organizer system, that we actually write and create our own stories. There's a reason that every religion started with an author, that every religion started with books, right? If you're Christian, wasn't Jesus a storyteller? If you're Muslim, did it not start with the Quran, a book? It started with stories. It's because of the power of stories. The stories you tell yourself will make all the difference in your life. And so what I'm inviting you to do this week and in this wonderful month is to actually rewrite a story about your life of 2021. Now, when I start to write a book, I don't know where it's going. It's a little bit like walking into a Victorian mansion. I've never once written the book that I thought I was going to write. Not once. But does that mean that those books aren't good? Don't say no. Is the books still move in the same direction in terms of the inspiration and the hope they provide? That is the way the year is. You're going to write this story. Now, I put a couple of these things. I put some, if you go to the top of the chat, we can talk. Let's go ahead and let's first click on the year PNG. And we'll open up your yearly goals. Last year, I made some goals. Now, I made these before we knew about COVID. Okay, so I made some goals, and they were. That's not Josh Jensen. That's Tom. You got to change that, don't I? Okay, my goals. My goals for the year were quite. Some I hit, some I didn't. But I want you to understand. I want you to think bigger than you're used to. I'm going to read you some of my goals. Okay. I wanted to write and publish a major holiday book. Okay, I did that. I wanted to write a book of my blogs called Ricky the Great. I did that. I wanted to go to Germany. I did that. I wanted to go to Switzerland and see the Matterhorn. I did that. I wanted to hit 100,000 followers on Facebook. I accomplished that. I wanted to turn my stable into a studio and fitness center. I did that. I wanted to, this came later, after COVID, revitalize the Christmas Box House, my charity. We did that, okay? I accomplished those goals. Those are big goals. I had some financial goals that I won't share with you, but I achieved half of what I wanted to financially. This is what I did not accomplish. I wanted to have 5,000 affiliates in Kingdom Organizer. I failed at that. I wanted to have 1,000 author students. I failed at that. I wanted to pay off my home. I failed at that. Okay. That's the beauty of creating major goals. Now I can look at the first two of those and say, well, and the truth is I could have paid off my home. I decided not to. But the first two were things that were directly affected by COVID, and because we were unable to meet, and that caused problems. But I made some really big goals, and I looked at my life as if this were my last year. What did I want that to look like? If you're writing a story, If you're on the story of your life in 2021, does anyone here want to write a boring story? Raise your hand if you want to write a really boring story. How about a painful story, a tragedy? Anyone? Come on. Robbie, you don't want to write a tragedy. You don't want to write a tragedies are interesting. Diane, do you want 2021 to just suck? Right? Okay, you don't. No one. I'm not getting any takers here. If you don't put out those big dreams, they won't happen. If I hadn't written down I'm going to Switzerland to see the Matterhorn, I guarantee I never would have gone. When I put down that vision, and we talked about that last time, to take back my charity, it immediately broke it down into 100 different pieces moving pieces that had to be moved into place to make that work. So what, as you look at your life and your story, how many here have already written their 2021 vision? Okay, Joanna, would you like to share anything on your vision for 2021? Are you comfortable with that? And you can say no.
So there's probably 15 things on there. One of them is market on YouTube. In 2020, with my side business, I exhibit at math conferences a couple of times a year or whatever I have vacation for. And in 2020, of course, those were all canceled. So it forced me to, and a perfect opportunity to learn to be very skilled at marketing online. And so I've been creating videos and working with my website manager, and I'm learning to market on YouTube. So I'm looking forward to that. So that's one of them.
Awesome. Is that your biggest goal? What would you say your biggest vision, that if it happened, you would say, what a great year?
I'm not sure if there's a big one. There's a lot of, like I said, there's about probably 15 things along the lines of what I just mentioned that I'm going to go after, but I'm not sure that there's an overall really big one.
Okay, so the question I asked, thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay.
And I love the way you go after things. You're amazing. One of the things, if you'll notice, if you clicked on the yearly page there, you'll notice that there's 5 stars, and that can be how many stars you want. What I want you to do is identify, are any of those things that you will not see your week as, or your year as successful as if you don't accomplish. There are bigger goals. Like what I wanted to buy a new quad for my ranch. Okay, that's an easy goal. I never got around to it. And the truth is, I decided I didn't want it. I don't care if that happened or not. But were there goals that were big, like releasing Noel letters? Absolutely, that better work, and it better hit the bestseller list. And so when you put those 5 things up there, it is important. I need to stop saying I want you to, because it doesn't matter what I want. Okay, let me just say, it's important that you do prioritize what truly is important to you. But what I really want to break through while you're in this relaxed state is I want to break through the idea of what you're able to accomplish. So let me tell you my big dream for the year. My big dream, I've been reading today, and I'm very disturbed in a sense. I've been reading a book that someone sent me. His name is Bruce Ledebout, and he was an adventurer. He was a pretty interesting guy, right? He was a military guy. And he became an adventurer, like climbs mountains. He hiked to the North Pole. He's lived in igloos. He's done all these really fascinating things. And about a decade ago, he was converted to Christianity. And he was invited to go and to see some Christian slaves. And it was so disturbing to him that he's now dedicated his life, more than 10 years ago, to saving slaves. not just sex slaves, but labor slaves. So I've been reading his book, and to realize that there's more than 40 million people, 40 million we know of, who are enslaved, is so disturbing to me. And what it's going to take to fix this, I believe that our source is willing to empower us to levels that we can't even comprehend, if we are willing to put ourselves out there as tools to do good. I believe that. I believe that the concept of just scraping by, that our source did not send us here to just scrape by and survive, but that there are bigger dreams. I also believe that your source, when you are connected to your source, you will be enlightened, and you will know when you have found a truth, because you'll feel that joy and you'll feel that ache for it. So my big dream is we're going to start the Defend Children Initiative. Can you believe I got defendchildren.com? That I was actually able to get the URL. I can't believe I got that. It should have been at least $75,000. We're just sitting there waiting for it. I think my source just held it for me. And we're going to start the Defend Children Initiative. And we're building a coalition. And it's amazing because I've seen my source magnetize me, that people are pulled in to reach out. And we're going to start in the US. And I talked a little bit about this, but I want to reach out, and I want to save thousands of children this year. In fact, I want to save tens of thousands of children this year. And I want to save hundreds of thousands of children next year. Okay. This is a big dream. I totally expect to do it. And you can totally hold me accountable. And we're going to do it. We're going to make a difference. And I have meetings. This week, I had my thing with students. This week it's fascinating. I have 6 celebrities that I actually will be meeting with and helping them with their books. And it's amazing how these connections are coming together. And it's like, I told Diane, it's my great unification theory. Everything I work on needs to come together, including Kingdom Organizer. Okay. So so in creating this vision, don't worry that you didn't have it done before January 1st. In fact, embrace all of January. Use January to clear off your computer, to clear up your mind, to get a sense, and to just daydream. Will you please do that? Will you please start daydreaming again and think about what if? And that's the big thing, Joanna, I always talk about the what if. It's like, what if, when Carrie said to me, what if we moved to Italy? What if the impact that had on my family? What if? I want you to start playing that what if game every single day. Your source wants you to excel above. And I'm not talking in the old days with people that you're going to excel and you're going to be on a yacht with bikini clad women. And it's like, that's BS. Who cares about that? What I'm talking about is the impact to save the lives around you. There are people who are suffering, people who are afraid, to be that source of light in this world. That's why we're here. That's why we are here on Sunday night. And if I can't help you to get there, then I've completely failed. And really, I should just go watch The Crown with my wife right now, because this is totally worthless if I'm not doing that. All right. There is one purpose here, and that is to help all of you achieve. I get this really great opportunity to work with Diane, who is just my beloved assistant. But the fun thing is, what's really fun is that we get to work together on dreams together. And it's as she says to me every single day, I love my job. Hi, Diane. Because it changes, and it's like, but it's all, look at that big smile, because it's visionary. What do we want to happen? So some of you have come to me in times of trouble. Some of you have such hardships you're going through, and I totally get that. I was on a call last week, and one woman I was talking to, oh my gosh, the pain she was feeling in her life. And so her greatness this year and the light she's going to feel is coming through that pain with hope. Because she had, her sister died, and her mother died, and her husband divorced her. The amount of pain that she felt in this beautiful woman. yet this is even in the midst of that storm, if she's able to maintain herself in her first kingdom, that she can be a light through this, and her source will be with her through that. And she will purify through that experience and become even more powerful. That's the beautiful thing about these hardships, is that they purify us and make us more strong. But if we don't take that energy, that power, and say, I want the power for a reason, it's kind of like wanting money for no reason. It becomes the lust of the money itself. It's like there's no point to it. Right? The point is, when we look into this power we want to create, it's like, what do we want to do with it? And this is where you put in here, and this has to do with the stories you're telling yourself. So what I want you to do, what would be good for you to do? Again, it doesn't matter what I want. What would be good for you to do is to start telling yourself stories. Now, some of you you don't even know that you're telling yourself stories. The Buddhist monks call it the chattering monkey in your head. I have a sibling who is so good at seriously telling negative narratives that he could have a black belt in it. If you say, wow, you look nice today, he'll say, am I normally ugly? Wow, you did a good job with that. Do I usually do a bad job? It's like, oh my gosh, I just want to rip the wires out of his head and just rewire them. But I'm sure to some level I do that too. I'm sure to some level we all do that. So the first thing you need to do is be conscious of the stories you're telling yourself. And later on, we're going to get into how to tell stories that will change the world, revolutionary storytelling. Because any of you who've been to my author training know we talk about that stories change the world, and you can prove it. And I have seen, just by making little tweaks to stories, I've seen major things happen. Right now, and we find the stories. Christmas Box House, we've got some great stories. And to come back into it, we have great stories. We're always creating stories. So what is the story of your life? Shazia, what's the story of your life? Do you know what that story is? And is it a story that's benefiting you? Are you the hero in your story? Well, you are. Okay, so you are the hero in that story. So how is Shazia going to change the world? How is your light going to shine so brightly? Well, the first thing we know is that connected to your source. So what I want you to do is, no, I'm so sorry. I have a bad habit, don't I? It's like what you want to do. What you want to do is to recreate these stories. I really think this is the only way I survived in life, because I had such a sucky childhood. I had such an imagination. I was always daydreaming. I remember when I was 12 years old, a teacher came to us and he showed us a perpetual motion machine, which we know, of course, is impossible. But he showed how magnets repel. And he said he would give any of us $500 if we could create a perpetual motion machine. That's pretty ridiculous, because it'd be worth trillions of dollars, right? But I thought that was for a kid, it's like $500. And so I spent the next 2 weeks trying to create a perpetual motion machine. And I had dreams about coming in and finding my machine just spinning around, a little motor I was making. And I spent weeks working on a motor and changing magnets and experimenting. What a great exercise. But I really believed that I might be able to do it. See, it's that mentality, that creation. It's like in my story, I was a hero. Did everyone watch the Christmas story with Ralphie? Do you remember when Ralphie writes that essay and the teacher's going, A++++++, and they're like lifting him on their shoulders? And okay, I had like imaginations like that. It was completely insane. And it was such a wonderful thing, because it got me there till I had those experiences. It was just this continual optimistic daydreaming of something more beautiful. And it got me through the sludge. And so for you to say, I'm taking January and I'm writing my story. And then so what I want you to do is no, what you want to do, getting better. What you want to do is you want to take this, your yearly goals right here and write them down. And I put it here so you can print it for free. You can just print it off your computer right here, okay? If you don't have your organizer, I now have realized that many of you have been trying to get refills. So two things. First of all, you can, we will have that back up and running by the end of this week. We have been revamping the computer, but if you need a refill, go ahead right now and just, email Diane@richardpaulevans.com with your phone number. That's all you need to do. Send it to her and what kind of organizer. And Michael will reach out to you. We'll get it to you so you're not stopped. But I wanted you to have these pages. So if you don't have it, or if you've never, you're on the call and Anita Long, I don't know if you have an organizer. If you've never had an organizer to start using it. Does anyone here not have an organizer? Raise your hand if you don't.
Hey, Richard, could you resend those in the chat for those who came on late, like myself? They're not there.
Yeah, Bart, if you just go to the top, just go right to the very top of it. It's up there. Just scroll up.
I am
see
at
it?
the top.
You are at the top. You can't see it.
Yeah, so if someone comes in after you have posted those, they're not there.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I will repost it right now then.
I don't see him either.
You don't see him here? Okay, I just posted. Do you see him now?
Yes, thank you.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead and just click on those so you have them on your computer. This is like normal insanity because, like, are you serious? You just took the copyrighted items and put them out there. It's more important to me that you are using it right now. All right. So this should be such a fun, joyful thing for you to sit down and write down what's going to happen this year. You want to write down at least one thing that blows your mind. That's like, I have always wanted to do that. Write down at least one thing. I have always wanted to do that. You want to write down those what ifs. That's how we write a novel. We start a what if. What if a 15-year-old boy has electricity in his body? That's Michael Vey, right? The what if. So you want to write down this what if. So what if we were able to build an organization in every single state, every single state in America that is fighting child abuse and child trafficking? That's a cool what if. And that's my big what if this year. I have what ifs with my books. I want to sell 50,000 copies of Michael Vey 8 the first week it comes out. That's a pretty big what if. Okay, that's my dream. And by putting that out there, by the way, number one did that. So by putting it out there and start building up, there's 3 million copies of Michael Vey out there. Why not? Why not do that? So to create these things that are going to be joyful, I don't know if we'll be able to have a launch party, if people will be there. Some of you are still not seeing the links posted. Are most of you seeing it or not seeing it?
I can't see it.
Thomas, you can't see it. Who else said they can't see it?
I can't see it, Ruth.
Are you in? Okay, go. Are you in the chat?
Yeah, I went to the chat and I couldn't see it. I'm on my iPhone. I don't know if that makes a difference instead of a computer.
Robbie, can you see it in chat?
I'm seeing, this is Anthony. I'm seeing everything but what you posted, Rick.
You see everything, but you don't see a file.
No. But I'm on my Android. I'm not on my computer.
Okay, is anyone on the computer? Robbie, are you on your computer? Oh, that's why.
Yeah, it's there. It's there.
It's on the computer. It's just not, but if it's on your phone, if someone could figure out how to get on your phone. Can you see chat on your phone?
Yes.
Let me do this. I'm going to go to our Facebook page. Okay, Cornerstone Affiliates. And I'm going to put it up there for a day. Okay, I'll post it there so you can go there if you don't have it here, so you get access. Because this is something that, so you can get it there. This is something you're going to need on your computer anyway if you're going to print it off. By the way, I spent $500 and bought this tablet. That's here. Let me turn off my. You're gonna see my dirty office, okay? There you go. Back from Hawaii. Okay, so I spent $500 to buy this tablet to see if we could put the organizer on it electronically. I'm not impressed. Actually, I'm not liking the experience, but I'm still gonna push ahead with it and experiment with it. But we'll see, because the nice thing is it would store it. So anyway, just so you know where we're going. But okay, so what is your assignment? Carol Burns, what is your assignment this week?
To daydream.
Yes. To what purpose?
Goals for 2021.
Let's get rid of goals. Let's change it to visions.
Visions.
Dreams. Goals have such a negative connotation. We've totally abused that. So goals have this negative. So our dreams, it's the big what if. What if could happen that would make us pure joy? Okay, now how many do not have an organizer? Raise your hand or click the hand button right now, or do not have pages. Okay, do you have your pages? Okay, use them. Remember, when you put down your annual goals, the daily pages are dissecting that. You're going through it on a daily basis. So let me ask you something as a community. If I'm looking at my daily pages, the first thing I have here on my daily page, let me go ahead and share it because some of you are having trouble pulling things up. So I'm going to just go ahead and share this. So the first thing we have here, can you see that? Can you all see this? Yeah?
Yes.
Daily page, okay. First thing is our first success. And for me, this is making my bed. I find that this has become a really valuable part of my day. Second, I've initiated the spiritual. So my new deal is I get out of bed, I pray, meditate and pray, and then I make my bed. I think I'd like to combine that with this gratitude and prayer. I want to, when we redo these, I want to simplify this. The mental, I never do. We used to, hi Diane, but I have not done it for a long time. And so, what do you think? Should we take it off? Pat, you want to keep it on? Do you use it, Pat? Yeah, okay. The book. Are you using that? Anyone? Jay, you use it? Is there any, do you think we keep these things on here or take them off?
I don't have,
Book is good.
Go ahead.
I don't have book on mine.
You don't have book on yours?
It says reading, actually.
Oh, okay.
I don't always do those things, but it's a really, really nice reminder to have them on there that they, will bring extra quality to my life if I have time to add
I can
those
put it
in.
on there. And you know what, Tammy, you're right. Just say reading. This is an old version. I just realized. You can see the evolution. We changed it to reading because the books were okay. Physical and physical victory. This is old because we took the physical victory off. Proclamation and self-care. I think self-care is very important to have. One of the goals I didn't tell you that I failed is one of the goals I had was to get as a diabetic, to get my A1C below 7. And I did not do that. I blew it off completely. And so, and I'm paying for it. And eventually it will kill me if it doesn't blind me and take me apart piece by piece. So this year I am taking it very seriously. We've been Diane's my guard to make sure I'm careful and she's careful. We've been not eating sugar and living more healthy. By the way, an ad. I don't get paid for this, but Diane introduced me to something, Built Bars. They are the most amazing protein bar I've ever tasted in my life. 18 grams of protein, less than 6 grams of sugar or carbs, so it's really low. And I've never tasted anything that tasted this good in protein. So I just want to share good things in my life. Diane introduced it to me and I could not believe how delicious they were. And so I'm having that for breakfast and lunch. And try it, give it a try. And the nice thing is the way my diabetes is manifesting is neuropathy. My feet have gone numb and they hurt. They burn. And I was tired of being in pain all the time. I would lay in bed, it would keep me up because I was in so much pain. And I realized it's not going to go away. That will go up into my hands and it will move into my legs. And pretty soon I'll be in so much pain. I'll be in constant pain. That's kind of a crappy way to live. So anyway, I tend to not make changes until I'm in so much pain. Yeah. I've also been using my my Beamer. Still trying to figure out if it's working right or not, or if I'm just too much for it. So I'll let you know. Anyway, that's that's from CJ from Adrian.
Yeah, you're gonna be doing good. I'll come and give you some instruction tomorrow.
Okay, great. Kingdom 2, the connection with number 1. Remember, just as you went through this meditation, and the meditation we went through at the beginning of this is something that you can hold on to, right? But remember, everything you do on that daily basis is to get you to your yearly what if. But think of it this way, I'm writing my life. So when you sit down and look at this and plan, it should be just an absolutely joyful experience and a chance for you to write and create your life every day. And then into Kingdom 3, these transformational relationships and what value they are. One of our friends and allies, Benjamin Hardy, he writes about, he just came out with a book called Who Not What, and or Who Not How. And he goes through, and it's a pretty compelling book, but in that book, he talks about how almost everything we accomplished through someone else. Michael Jordan was not hitting the level he was hitting until Scottie Pippen came in and 2 other players. Up to that point, they weren't winning titles, and without them, it wouldn't happen. I mean, whereas Karl Malone without John Stockton, it's like we need other people to hit those goals. And so what Joanne Bailey said, is it Joanne or Joanna? Am I saying it wrong? Joanna? Diane, help me.
It's Joanna with an A.
Joanna, okay. So what Joanna said, she goes, she reached out to a coach, right, to help you with your YouTube. Is that correct? Yeah. See, that's really smart. Of course, Joanna is really smart, but that's the whole point. We get there by finding people who can lead us, who can take us to that next level. So when you think of your dreams and these what ifs, ask your source, who is it that you're supposed to connect to make this happen? And just look at it. What connections do I have? And you're just building. You're building. And sometimes those people will lead you to someone else, to someone else, to someone else. Okay, does anyone have any questions on how to use the daily page on the organizer? Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing here so we can see you better. So you all know perfectly well how to use it.
Hey, Rick?
Yes.
You say I never talk, I'll talk. Hi.
Who is this?
This is Doug.
Oh, hi, Doug. I don't see you on the screen.
Hey, the thing I've been doing this year that helps is I can't go straight from the full year to the daily. I need to go through the months and the weeks. So you might want to point out that those are there too. And those really do help break it down into bite-sized chunks. We've got those weekly pages and the monthly pages.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and post all of them up there. No, what Doug is saying is absolutely right. In fact, today I spent my time working on the yearly, but also the month of January. And my month of January is a little bit open because January to me is that I want to pick up all the pieces from 2020. I have dental work that needs to happen. I have some doctor appointments that need to happen. It's like I left everything after book tour. I kind of left everything in a mess. My garage is full of stuff we have to take down to the hall tomorrow, Diane. So January is kind of a cleanup month for me, but also a planning month. I'm keeping the whole month open, but week by week is how we break that down and what's important. So Doug, thank you. You're absolutely right. And how come you're not showing up on the page? Did anyone, Doug, what name are you under?
Doug.
Oh, there you are. Oh my gosh. Hi, Doug.
Yeah, I know we haven't seen each other for so long now.
I was looking all over. You know what? You're usually blacked out. I just see a big Doug. That's what threw me.
Yeah, well, you told me I never say anything and I never show up. So I figured tonight I'd show up just for you.
Yeah, thank you.
Now I'll go black again.
All right, my friends. So what I want, what you see, I did it again. What I want, it doesn't matter what I want. So what I recommend, I'm going to get a better term, is that you spend this week daydreaming in the highest level of your vision. If you don't have at least one vision that blows your mind, that brings you like, wow, what if? Wouldn't that be cool? Then you are selling yourself way too short. You need to start monitoring the stories in your head, especially how they connect with that vision. Well, you can't do that. You can't write a book. You can't listen to those stories and then start rewriting them. I found something when I was a kid. I would have horrible nightmares. And I would wake up and I'd be covered with sweat and terrified. And I then one day I realized something. I was being chased by some kind of monster. And actually the monsters were usually people. And then I realized while I was laying there, kind of asleep, kind of awake, that I could finish my dream. And so what I would do is I would give myself superpowers. I would make myself into a special agent. I would do whatever, use my imagination to actually defeat the monster, and then I would be calm. Okay, we have that ability. That's the beauty and the power and the magic of imagination and storytelling. I'm giving you permission to use that again in your life. To totally use that. As Carol told us, to daydream. I love it. To daydream. To take that time before you get out of bed. Sometimes I do that when I'm writing books. I'll start working laying in bed. I'll be laying there and Carrie thinks I'm still asleep. It's like, no, I'm working. Because I'm walking through with my characters through a scene and trying to figure something out with them. You're the character, you're the hero in your story. So this week, you want to make yourself that hero, write out your story, and you get the whole month to do this. Actually, you get the whole rest of your life. But make your life great. And the thing is, it doesn't mean you have to make a lot of money. It doesn't mean that you have to be famous. You can do great things that seem small, but are highly impactful. Just start paying attention to what's happening around you. Ask your source. Could you imagine if there was a trafficked child or an abused child in your room, in your apartment, or your neighborhood that you saved? That's a big thing. Ask the source, how can you be of service and accomplish something major like that? Those are powerful, big things. So even if you don't have to know how you're going to get to the vision. Did I know what flights it would take or what trains or buses I had to take to get to the Matterhorn? I didn't know there's one train that goes to Matterhorn every day, that goes up to Zermatt, and where to catch it. I didn't know any of that stuff. All I knew is I wanted to see the Matterhorn with my son. That's all that matters. And was it worth it? Yeah, it was actually. I had it on my phone, my screen for about 4 months. It took my breath away. I couldn't believe how cool it was. And then we took a helicopter and flew around it. That was totally cool. Didn't know that was a possibility. So you don't have to worry about that dream, how to get there, the destination. Just start thinking that. If you've never been to Hawaii and always wanted to go to Hawaii, guess what? This is the year. You wanted to write a book? It's probably the year for that. So take that dream and start daydreaming. You will start to understand what I understand, the power of that. The sheer power of storytelling. And daydreaming is storytelling for yourself. And then later on, when you're ready, I will teach you how to tell stories to others that will change their lives, that will change the world, that will allow you to make huge sums of money if that's what you want, or to engage armies. I'll tell you those stories because they work. I'll tell you how to tell those stories because I know how to do it. But for right now, let's work in here. Let's work on these stories. Let's get them down in our Kingdom Organizer and let's build it. And let's write your year. Thank you everyone so much for being here tonight. I love talking to you. It's an honor that you come every night. If this isn't helping you, if it's not moving you to a new place, don't be here. But if it's bringing you along, if it's helping you to march along to the place you want to be, I'm so glad you're here. That's very fulfilling for me to know that you're feeling something powerful in your life. I want you to have the most fulfilled life that you possibly can. I think that is how we honor our source. That's how we honor God. Just in the same way as parents, we want to see kids, our children, our grandchildren become just their most beautiful selves. And I don't care about the report cards. That stuff doesn't matter. Or, letters behind their name. That's what, but being just beautiful lights and happy. That's joyful. So anyway, God bless you all. And if you have any questions, I'll go on, post those. I'd have you do it, Diane, but you're not going to be able to. But you don't have the stuff, I don't think. And I have to find the right. Thanks for Tammy for pointing that. I need to find the right pages. So I will get that up tomorrow, okay? Because I have to run out and meet with Doug. So long night. Anyway, take care, everyone. God bless. Have a great week. Daydream a lot. And I can't wait to hear your stories next Sunday. So
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I needed that. Thank you.
Thanks, Ruth.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Hello? I don't know what happened to my computer.
Hello?
Hello?
What are you doing?